Hello YouTube, it's BirdoPrey5 and welcome to Bed Life for Monday, April 29th, 2019. And Qapla. And I should lower the sound so I don't hear it in my ear. Although, how do I sound to you guys? Because I actually have a new microphone setup that should basically have eliminated all background noise. And a big thank you to someone in my comment section of my Twilight Zone video, which came out on Friday. It's Monday. Actually came out on Thursday. It's Monday. Almost 2,000 views. By far my fastest performing video to 2,000 views. It is my Avengers Endgame of videos. That last Twilight Zone review I did. And I gotta say, and the Game of Thrones first reaction I put out earlier today was well on its way to 100 views in just a few hours. So things are going good. I gotta say, I have a good feeling about the channel, which is probably about the time people get hit with their first copyright strike. So Anti-Tracker called #1 hours ago. He put in tons and tons and tons of poop emojis, so definitely will scare away Trollita. Not that she usually comes to my streams. And Thomas Potts and Anti-Tracker. Oh my god, a quantum finish. A quantum finish. Who is first? I can't tell without affecting the outcome. Anti-Tracker. Anti-Tracker made it at 5:55 p.m. Just as I went live. Anti-Tracker said hey, and nearly the same instant Thomas Potts also said hi, but just me looking at the results altered the quantum states of the electrons as they entered my machine, changing the entire outcome. And Thomas Potts tells Anti-Tracker to stop spamming. Anti-Tracker says lol, not Ryan Johnson says hello and Qapla. Hello and Qapla to you, not Ryan Johnson. Anti-Tracker says you sound like Laura Reloaded, only with a much better voice. Well, what does that mean? What does that mean exactly? Thomas Potts says, hi, Sassy. You were a good girl yesterday. Sassy was not a great girl yesterday. Oh, poor Sassy. Anti-Tracker says, 2K, nice. Yes, and we were at 379 subscribers. I lost one last night. I got another one back today. At 380, I start planning the 400 subscriber spectacular. Thomas Potts says, I thought you already had a copyright strike. No, there's a difference. There's a difference between copyright strike. A copyright strike takes down your channel. What I had was a content ID match. And a lot of YouTubers, Anti-Tracker, use them interchangeably. But yeah, copyright strike is much, much more serious than a content ID match. A content ID match, they merely either start running ads in your video and they get the money, or worst case, they say, yeah, you can't, nobody else can look at your video. And they basically block it to all of YouTube except for yourself. So that's really not a big deal, except how annoying it is that you spent hours and hours and hours editing a video only to, within 10 seconds, a bot says, F you. This is ours now. So it's annoying, but it doesn't hurt the channel. A copyright strike, immediately, the first one, you can't live stream for, I don't know, 3 months, I think it is. And if you get 3 copyright strikes, your channel's completely deleted. So yeah, you do not want an actual copyright strike. That's pretty bad. So no, I have not had a actual copyright strike. Thomas Pont says he's unsubbing from both of us. Well, I'll miss you, Thomas. I really will. Sassy, perhaps more than me. 47 Yorktown says, good evening, Mr. Bird. Qapla 47 Yorktown. Welcome to the stream. A name I have not seen here before. And Anti-Tracker says, your voice plus drugs equals awesome head trip. Well, thank you. Thomas Potts is asking Anti-Tracker if 8 p.m. is when he will be streaming. Yes, I had myself Anti-Tracker withdrawal this morning. A rude reminder that he was not going to be streaming at 11 a.m. Eastern. Sci-Fi Guy says, hello, Bird. Qapla, Sci-Fi Guy. Anti-Tracker says, Thomas Potts between 8 and 8:30, give or take how quickly I finish up at work. Well, finish up quickly, Anti-Tracker. Okay, your fans need you. Your fans need you. Thomas is at his Avengers. I'm at Avengers in my marathon. You are at Avengers? That's interesting. Thomas Potts' Endgame made it to 1.2 billion over the weekend. Excellent. Sci-Fi Guy says, pound me too. Pound. Oh, poo. Me poo. Excuse me. Me poo. Hashtag me poo. Anti-Tracker says, FYI, Bird, a copy ID match can in fact block a video. Yes, I said that. CBS monetizes, however, Fox blocked my video until I disputed. And Fox blocked my video until I disputed as well. Fox blocked my Orville review or whatever it was, an Orville live stream. And they blocked it, and it took about a week. It was over Easter. It took about a week, and then they released it. Of course, it had only gotten 40 views before it got blocked, and since it got unblocked, nobody has watched it because it's a week old and nobody cares anymore. That's the life we live. Thomas Potts says, Birdo Prey 5, can you give a message? Anti-Tracker. Can you give a message, AT, then go on disability? Thomas, there's a word missing, perhaps. Do you mean a massage? Because I'm not massaging Anti-Tracker, and even if I did, I don't see why it would go on I would go on disability. I'm on disability already. You know, when you can't walk, that's enough reason to go on disability. Massaging Anti-Tracker doesn't really add to it. Not Ryan Johnson says, I saw Avengers twice over the weekend. My cousin Heather, Intuition for Nutrition, that her YouTube channel, she saw Avengers over the weekend. In fact, that's why she couldn't be here yesterday when my aunt and uncle, her parents, came over. Oh, and I've got pictures. I've got pictures from last night. Let me get them. Oh, I put one in my Discord, but let's see. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Where are they? Pictures. I have all the pictures I've ever taken in a directory called Safe Data Pictures and Picture in capital letters, and then they are broken up by different categories. And this is in the category me, because and I got rid of all of the windows by accident. Okay. Me, where are they? Here we go. Let's see. There's only one really worth showing. Not that one. Not that one. That's not a bad one. That's not a bad one. Yeah. I think that's the one we want. So, okay, we bring it up. We go here. We drag you into there. Now, there we go. Here's me and my uncle, my dad's brother. You'll notice he's wearing the hat I wore in Ode to the Unknown Subscriber. And I'm wearing my all-new cowboy hat. That the next time I take up the guitar, I will be wearing that hat. It fits much better. My larger head. So that's gonna be interesting. Yes, my aunt wanted to take a picture when she saw the hats. Oh. Let's see. And the Tricker said to Thomas Potts, what? Yeah, I also didn't know. Oh, Thomas's bird of prey can give you a massage. No. I still don't know what the hell's going on. Thomas Potts says massage. So Anti-Tracker can go on disability? Oh, you want Anti-Tracker to be able to go on disability. The problem with disability, Thomas, is that it doesn't pay the bills. Okay? If Anti-Tracker is just barely making ends meet now with what's going on, putting it on disability isn't gonna help. Let's see. Can we get our... No, we can't. It's stuck now. Okay, let's see. There we go. We're speeding up. Miles per second. I don't know if it's... Can we achieve warp? Let's see. We don't appear to be achieving warp speed. That's not right. Well, whatever. We got stars moving outside. That's all that really matters. Shronemore says, greeting Bird of Prey 5 and fellow nerds. Greetings, Shronemore. Anti-Tracker says, when Bird gives that kind of massage, you do not go on disability. You go on death leave. Shronemore says, do you think Sassy calls herself Sassy? Or does she call herself something like Barks and does a lot of tricks? Chaser of cats, eater of cookies, defier of cushions, scourge of the squirrels. Very most likely that is what she calls herself. Her full name is actually Sassy. I forgot, but it's basically a long name like Khaleesi from Game of Thrones, mother of dragons and all these things, mother of duck toys, and it's a really long and complicated name. I wrote it down somewhere. Sassy's full name. And Edrica says, Bird, you need to do about 5 light years per second to get a nice warp effect. I'm doing I'm doing AUs per second. Oh, okay, we'll go up. Let's see. 1 light year, 7 light years per second now. 7 light years per second. And I would say it doesn't even appear like I'm moving. Let's see. There we go. But that's 7 light years per second. That's 10 light years, 9 light years per second now. I don't know. It doesn't seem like I'm moving at all. Thomas says he's spinning again. The problem is my controller is wireless, and if I don't press anything for like 2 minutes, it shuts off, which it did. And then once I turn it back on, it's completely disconnected from the game. The simulator. Nothing is doing anything. So what I need is a USB controller without a wireless adapter, so it's always working. Because with the controller, I can manage to get it to do some things. With the keyboard, honestly, I don't know what the hell's going on. Multi-Gunman is here. He says, "Hi, Bird. How's it going?" It's going well, Multi-Gunman. Welcome to the stream. Thomas says, "Sassy, I forgot." What? Multi-Gunman says, I'm doing. Attribute it to me. Anti-Trigger says, "Bird, the bottom of the screen, are you in spaceship mode? And if so, you have to hit the up arrow to accelerate." I thought I hit the plus sign to accelerate. What's with all these things to hit? Damn it. Controller, go away. Go away. I want you off the screen. Go away. Yellow giant. I don't care. Text, go away. I don't want info. No! Damn it. This game needs a lot of help. A lot of help. Okay, spaceship mode. There, we are now in spaceship mode. Okay. Now, how do I get rid of you? You stupid text. Right-clicking used to make you go away. Well, that's good enough. Okay, up arrow to accelerate. Ah! There we go. There we go. Thank you, Anti-Tracker. So, spaceship mode and up arrow. Okay, we're at what I would call low warp. And I'm happy with that. Maybe we won't overshoot the entire universe on this stream. I do appreciate it, Anti-Tracker. And of course, if it crashes, we will have the fish tank behind it. Just in case. Just in case. Let's see. Shronmore says, "You're probably in the Boots Void. It's a couple million light years across, so won't look like you're moving." I know I was right at a meteor. Just behind. It was just behind me. Ozzy NF says, "Hello, people. Qapla." Hello, Ozzy NF. Welcome to the stream. Shrone Moore says, greetings. Multi-Gunman says, when Bird says, how do I get rid of you, he's referring... No, I am not. I have not. Okay, the casual racism jokes, they need to stop. They need to stop. I'm getting a bad rap, okay, people? This is not good. Multi-Gunman says, no, I just said that. Why do I always reread the last comment I just read? Josh Street says, I'm lucky then. I got a wired Xbox One controller for $20 when a store closed its doors in town where I live. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, the wireless controller is better for 99% of things. When you're actually playing a game and you're involved and you're not putting the controller down for 10 minutes at a time, it makes perfect sense. For this particular application, I'd have been better with a wired controller. And it's not like I don't have a wired controller somewhere in this house, but we'll never find it. Anti-Tracker says, activate fish drive. You know, effing insane speed hike drive. Yes, well, fish drive is like infinite improbability drive. A whale might just fall out of the sky in front of us. Ozzy NF says, eBay sells wired controllers pretty cheap, or Amazon. Yeah, I buy everything off Amazon. I could get a wired controller probably for next to nothing on the next Amazon order I place in. It's just like because I have a table over my hospital bed, I actually have a very limited room. If I had an actual computer desk, I'd have 2 or 3 monitors set up. I mean, I used to have a terrific setup when I could walk and move around. Now that I'm all out of working off of a hospital bed, hence bed life, I just use one laptop with one screen and try to fit everything else I need in my life on this table. And I have got like 2 organizers which literally have, things from, and now the bed is alarming and Mom isn't here, so I have to go on my cell phone to an app that's called Smart Life. And of course that goes away. And power off the bed. Okay, so now the alarm stops, and in a couple of minutes I have to turn it back on. Yes, so on this thing I've got a bunch of like important paperwork, a remote control for Alexa, a remote control for my Amazon Fire TV, a remote control for my TiVo cable box, my digital camera, my home phone, a bunch of pens, a home defense laser. Yeah, you can see it. Okay, if somebody comes breaking through that door because I don't have I had to give up some weapons, but this in the eye, yeah, they're not going to be able to do anything about that. Home defense laser, some other things, pens, pencils, whatever I might need. My passport, in case I gotta leave the country in a jiffy. Is there anything I can show you in here? No. You can see an old picture of me. The remote control for my Bose radio, which I had, my various pills, another remote control that covers the Wi-Fi in case that goes down and I have to reset that. My wallet, yeah, this is the wallet. So that's here. Rubber band around it. Bottles of water. A little bag of pretzels for when I have to take some pills and no one's around. Garage door opener. A mirror. My tablet. My wireless keyboard for the Amazon Fire TV, my heart rate monitor, my bottle of Purell, which comes in handy, my desk, I don't know if you'll see this, my fan that keeps constant blowing on me to keep me cool because it's warm. Pair of scissors, because you never know. What's this? An Amazon Kindle for when I read a book. Of course, my cell phone, my charger, my Swiss Army knife that I've had with me since I bought it in Switzerland during freshman year of high school. Now, yes, they did repair it several times for free because they have lifetime warranties. You can send your Swiss Army knife in and you get an almost new one back. A tube of Neosporin because Sassy attacks me and she rips the skin with her nails. Her poor nails need to be clipped. The vet is coming. The vet is coming early next week. A little massager for my muscles. Help. Yeah, you hear that sound. There you go. To get the blood flowing. USB rechargeable. I mean, it's basically Mary Poppins' bag of stuff here, but it's everything I've managed to fit onto this desk. Another remote control. This is for a bigger fan further away. Tons of business cards from doctors and all types of people who've been to the house for whatever reason over the years. My New York City rifle and shotgun permit. I don't want to show too much of that, but that's here. Haven't stuck it on anything yet. NRA sticker. Yeah. Maybe I'll just stick it right to my shirt. Maybe I can stick it to the camera somewhere. What else? Guitar pick for when I gotta play Ode to the Unknown Subscriber. A bunch of USB cables. A wireless adapter for the wireless joystick. And I said I got my bottles of water here. And the tablet from which I read. The comments when I play City Skylines. And not one back scratcher but 2, depending on how big the itch is. So I'd say that's probably about half of the things within my immediate reach. So yeah. Let's see. Josh Street says bird and Atari controller don't count. Not Ryan Johnson says bed alert, and thank you, not Ryan Johnson. All right, I almost forgot to turn the bed back on, which would have been annoying when I would go to turn or move. Okay, so now the bed's going to beep a couple of times as it reboots. Josh Street says, Bird of Prey, do you like Who Killed the Night King? Well, I did a Game of Thrones first reaction video today. My first Game of Thrones first reaction video. Because frankly, I mean, so many people were doing Game of Thrones videos. It just didn't seem necessary before. But I was so disappointed in this latest episode that I had to say something, just for my own sake. I was super disappointed in many things. That said, Arya killing, spoiler alert. Arya killing the Night King. I liked it, I'll be honest. At the time when it happened, I literally yelled out, yes, because I was just so happy that Arya wasn't being killed, and that she got the kill in. I was like, okay, I could see that. After I thought about it, after the episode ended, and I realized I was disappointed with this episode almost from the very beginning. As soon as the combat started, I was like, no, they're not going to do this. They're not. I mean, I know it's a nighttime battle, but I didn't think they were actually going to film the entire thing at night. We can't see anything. The entire episode was just entirely too dark. I mean, it made Star Trek Discovery look well lit. I couldn't tell who was alive, who was dead, who was fighting. I couldn't tell Arya Stark from Lady Mormont. It was just way too dark, and it was a total letdown. I was waiting to see, something bigger than the Battle of the Bastards, and I got something like, this is one of the most boring battles they ever showed, because you can't see anything except the occasional dragon's fire. Did I like Who Killed the Night King? At the time, yes. The more I thought about it, less yes. I'm not terrible. I'm not, it's not horrible that Arya got to kill him. But in hindsight, Jon Snow should have killed him. Okay? Or, if Arya was going to kill him, she should have put on the face of a White Walker and got right up next to the Night King and then just stabbed him without him realizing who she was. And then she takes the face off. And because that's the whole point, okay? That is her special move. I mean, yeah, granted, she apparently has crazy ninja fighting powers, which she was always a good fighter and she trained, but, I don't know. I feel like anybody could have come out at that point and just jumped out. Anyone but Jon Snow, because we knew he was indisposed. He was stuck. He was about to die. If Arya hadn't killed the Night King at that point, he was going to die. I thought maybe there was a missed opportunity with Theon that, what is dead can never die. I thought maybe Theon wouldn't be able to die. Maybe Jon Snow, maybe that dragon was going to blow its cold blue night dragon fire at Jon Snow, and Jon Snow was going to be completely untouched by it. Why? Because A, either Jon Snow can't be burned because he's a Targaryen, or B, because what was dead can never die, and Jon Snow was dead already, as my sister reminded me. He was dead and he was brought back to life. So maybe the Night King cannot take Jon Snow. Those all would have been much, much better options than what happened. Honestly, when the Night King, when Dany, and this is all spoilers, by the way, so when Dany is on the dragon and she sees the Night King and she says Dracarius, and the dragon fires. I thought Jon Snow should have been there with the Night King. And you're thinking, oh shit, is she really gonna kill Jon Snow in order to kill the Night King? And for that few seconds in your mind, you're thinking, well, shit, but I guess to kill the Night King, it is worth it. But then if you kept thinking, you'd say, oh wait, Jon already told her he was a Targaryen. He's unburnt. I don't believe he can be burned. I think he's immune to fire like she is. And that if he was truly a Targaryen, this was her way to prove it to herself or test it. So really, when the fire finished, you would have seen the Night King. He would have done his smirk like he did. And then you would have scrolled back and you would have seen Jon Snow also untouched, looking like what the hell just happened. Perhaps naked. I mean, hopefully we didn't get to see him naked, just from the chest up or something. Maybe the clothes would have burnt off of him, like I believe they did Daenerys when she left that burning temple. She walked out and she was naked because her clothes had burnt off. But she herself was untouched, unburnt. So I thought maybe they would do that with Jon, but no. No, they didn't do that with Jon. It was so many missed opportunities. And the most missed opportunity, personally, and I said this in my video, I wanted to see Hodor. Hodor was my favorite character. This was a perfect opportunity to bring Hodor back. Of course, he'd be working for the army of the dead, but you could still recognize Hodor in a crowd shot. You could have Hodor being the one to break down the gates of Winterfell. And he would have come full circle from holding the door to destroying the door. You could have even had him glance at Bran as he was headed into Winterfell, and Bran just look at him and I don't know what Bran's not going to tear up, but Bran could have just looked and acknowledged what was happening. So many missed opportunities, and frankly, while it was still the series, okay, well, I'm not going to say it's a good episode. This series is still a very, very good series. This is one bad episode. But it's a bad episode at a terrible, terrible time. A terrible time. And I've got the next video I'm going to do is probably going to be, look at that. The mouse cursor is on the screen. Can I hide it behind Garfield? I can. The next video I'm going to do is probably going to be my predictions for the final episode of Game of Thrones, which I've not heard anyone make similar predictions. So I will grant you it's a 1 in 1,000 chance I'm right, but I feel like the fact that they are not announcing the titles of the episodes until after the fact, I think it could be. I think maybe it goes from a 1 in 1,000 chance to a 1 in 100 chance. Because the only problem with my episode prediction is that the title would give away the entire episode. And the fact that they are purposely not showing us titles until the episodes are over this entire season gives me some hope, some chance that perhaps what I'm thinking is actually true. And the only reason we are not seeing titles yet until the end of the episode is because they know they couldn't show us the title for episode 6, the final episode of the season. And if they're just doing it for all the episodes this season, so we won't expect that the final episode is going to be such a radical departure from what we're used to. But because these first 3 episodes, their titles really reveal nothing. Something, The Winterfell, and The Long Night, okay? None of those revealed what was going to happen. There were no spoilers in those titles. I think the spoiler is going to be in episode 6. And just to make it less noticeable that it's going to be a spoiler, they did this whole cockamamie policy for the entire season, so that hopefully by the time we get to episode 6, we don't even realize what's happening. But that's just my opinion. The Multi-Gunman says leave the country in a jiffy. For example, to go to Germany. No. Ozzy NF says Game of Thrones was disappointing in my opinion. Felt rushed. I agree, Ozzy. Anti-Trigger says the Purell is for has to shake hands with a weird foreigner. No, Anti-Tracker. The Purell is for one Sassy slobbers over my hands. Okay, Sassy. Good petting you. Now I gotta use 6 ounces of Purell. John Street says Bird isn't telling us he has 5 boxes. No, I do not. Thomas Potts is lolling. Not Ryan Johnson says he also has 1 bourbon, 1 scotch, 1 beer nearby as well. I thought it was 1 bourbon, 1 scotch, 1 whiskey, 1 beer. Multi-Godman says Anti-Tracker, yes, especially since they're not white. Or if they're Jewish. Thomas Bot says, did you open a Swiss bank account? No. I hear Swiss bank accounts are pretty much useless these days. The Swiss have given in to the demands of the United States and now report everything. It's not the same as it used to be. Josh Street says, Thomas, the question is how many Swiss bank accounts does Bird have? Anti-Tracker says, yeah, massager gets the blood flowing. Not Ryan Johnson is lolling. Thomas Pot says, we don't need to... No. Multi-Gunman says, that's good. Lots of stuff on your table. Indeed. Shronmore says, so sassy. So sassy should be called Defiler of Bird, not Defiler of Cushions. Wow. Anti-Tracker says he keeps his business. Excuse me. Anti-Tracker says he keeps the business cards just like how Dexter kept blood slides. Josh Reed says Dexter, by the way, another great series. If you have not seen Dexter, you should definitely seek it out. Okay, Dexter was a great, great series. And I forgot to bring it up many times, speaking about great series of the past, like The Sopranos and The Wire, and some other ones. Oh, Big Love. Big Love was another one, too. I liked Big Love. But Dexter is top of the line. That should definitely be one you watch. Funny story about Dexter. I was explaining Dexter to one of my friends, a female friend, and I was explaining it. And I was saying, no, it's a show about a serial killer. And she's like, oh. And I'm like, no, but it's okay because he only kills bad people. So, you kind of, he's not a terrible person. He's only killing bad people. And she couldn't understand. She's like, she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like he only kills people who've murdered other people or raped people or, did bad stuff. He's not killing innocent people off the street. And she's like, that can't be. They can't make a show about that. I'm like, yeah, they can. I'm like, why? I'm like, I've been watching it for 3 seasons. She's like, no. And after maybe 10 minutes of her refusing to believe this show exists, it clicked. I said, wait a second. I said, you do know this is not a reality show. This is a drama. It's like, oh yeah, okay. Once, for some reason, she just assumed it was like that, back in the Dexter day, almost every television show, especially news shows, were reality shows. But it was just in her head I was explaining a reality show, even though I never, ever claimed it was a reality show. But she just assumed. And for, 10, 15 minutes, a especially long time when you think about it, she was thinking I was talking about that this was a reality show about a serial killer. Multi-Gunman says NRA sticker as a warning for people to stay off his lawn. Exactly. Anti-Tracker says, Josh Street, there will be a stream in a couple hours. Remember, my work schedule changed as of yesterday. And Josh Street says, Anti-Tracker, I remember. That's why I asked if you didn't have time for one. Anti-Tracker says, yeah, my new schedule sucks for morning streams. You could scream at 7 a.m., Anti-Tracker. We'll be there. Multi-Gunman says, I have similar things that NRA sticker bird. Like a sign that says, I don't call 911 with a picture of a pistol on it. I see we think the same, indeed. Thomas Potts says, Nerdrotic and Doomcock were mad as hell over Game of Thrones. Yeah, well, Doomcock I could see. I was more surprised Nerdrotic was upset, but what are you gonna do? I mean, I wasn't happy, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't awful. Anti-Tricker says, Bird, you should do a full spoiler review of Avengers Endgame. I know you have not seen it. Do it in your very same vein as your true history videos. Might be able to do something like that. Multi-Gunman says, I was disappointed. I did put some spoilers into a stream today. Oh, before I started streaming, one of the YouTubers I watch, who himself does City Skylines videos, a guy named Spike Viper, he was doing a live City Skylines video, and he was doing a map where he created like a giant dam that literally took up like the entire width of the map, of the city map. And for days and days and days, a dam had been filling behind it, had just been filling with water. So he made like maybe 6 or 7 videos as this dam just filled and filled up and filled up. So today the dam was finally just about ready to start working, so he actually went live so we could all watch it live as the dam finally started working. And it did, and it started, the water started coming out, and he had right in front of the dam, he had for those who know City Skylines, 4 floating garbage collectors, which take pollution out of dirty water because he was recycling the sewage. So when he put those down, it was dirty water that he expected to come out of the dam. But over the last 6 or 7 episodes, it's okay, Sassy. Over the last 6 or 7 episodes, he built the Eden Project. And if you build the Eden Project in City Skylines, it immediately erases all pollution from the city, including water pollution. So I told him in the chat, in the live chat, I said, hey, delete those garbage collectors. You don't need them anymore since you built the Eden Project. And despite there being like, because he had like 350 people in his chat. Okay, 350 people. And that's almost neurotic levels. Despite the chats flowing like crazy, and this wasn't a super chat, it was just a regular old chat, he saw my comment. He's like, oh, you're right. He's like, you're right. You're absolutely right. I agree with the Eden Project. I don't need these garbage collectors anymore. But they were right in front of the dam. So he goes and he deletes 1. He deletes 2. He deletes the 3rd one. And the entire dam disappears. Because he misclicked. He misclicked by like 1/4 of an inch. Instead of clicking on the garbage collector, he clicked on the dam. He didn't realize it. He clicked yes, confirm demolition. And immediately the entire dam disappeared with a wall of water taller than the entire rest of the city. And there was absolutely nothing to do about it. I mean, he did have a game saved from like 5 minutes earlier, so he can come back to it. But for that game, he was done. There was nothing he could do. So he's like, well, damn. And he's like, I guess we're just going to let this play through next game. He saved it as a separate file, and he just ended the stream. He ended the stream early. I felt so bad for him. I felt so bad for him. How did we get on that topic? I don't know. I don't even remember. Spoiler review of Endgames. Dexter. Dexter was a while ago. Multi-Gunman says, I was disappointed in the light levels of the episode. It was too dark. It was also disappointed that Theon died. Other than that, I really liked the episode. The biggest disappointment to me was it was just too dark. A complete waste of a battle. What's the point of a battle if you can't see anything? Also, why did Melisandre, whatever, the Red Witch, why did she only light up the Dothraki weapons? Why not make all of their weapons ignite? That would have been interesting. Josh Street says, why did they even have Azor Ahai if anyone with Valyrian steel weapon? It would have been better if Theon killed him before dying. I hate Theon, I'm going to be honest. I really dislike Theon. I wasn't happy he even came back to Winterfell. After what he did, how the hell does anybody forgive this guy? Okay, don't get me wrong, he got punished, but so redeem yourself back in the Iron Islands, okay? Don't come back to Winterfell. You've burned your bridges, I believe. I don't know how else. Theon was like one of my most despised characters at one point. And he wouldn't have changed his ways if he didn't get his ass kicked and get taken prisoner and get his hoo-ha chopped off. So I don't like him. I don't want him there. In fact, I was kind of glad he got killed. As people go, I mean. Ozzy NF says, what was the point of Jon Snow's destiny? He was brought back for no purpose. Well, maybe he was brought back to be the king. Although I think we all know he's not going to be. Josh Reed says it would have been better if Theon killed him before dying. Okay, I read that. Ozzy says to yell at a dragon. Yes. Arr! Schronmore says I was waiting for her to reveal why Varys lost his Nagers and hammer. I was waiting for Melisandre to light up all the other things, and I was waiting for her to die after she lit the trenches, because she really didn't need to be around. She could have told Arya about killing the blue-eyed before she lit the trenches. She didn't need to be around just for that. Then she could have died a hero's death. What else? There was another big thing I wanted to happen. It would have been so perfect when Daenerys... Did I explain this already? I did. Never mind. I was going to say, it would have been so perfect for Daenerys to burn Jon Snow, but yeah, and he would have come out unburnt. We talked about that already. Anti-Tracker says, yeah, but nobody thought that Theon was going to get the gauntlet and do a second snap. Wrong franchise. Yeah, Anti-Tracker. I did give a spoiler to Endgame in the stream. Oh, that's what it was. I gave a spoiler to Endgame in that stream where the city stream today with the dam. Before I had him accidentally destroy the entire dam, somebody said if there's any Endgame spoilers in here, you're banned. So of course I had to say Endgame spoiler. King Kong kills Thanos before saving Godzilla, which obviously was nonsense. But yes, that's the type of spoilers I could give in Endgame. Anti-Trigger says, but dusting was a good way for Theon to go. Without the stones makes sense. Anti-Tracker is trying to spoil both Endgame and Game of Thrones. Anti-Tracker says, then the way the Stark made the new armor, wouldn't it have been cool to see headless Ned Stark? Sassy, stop attacking Grandma! Thomas Pond says Spider-Man used the Elder Wand to defeat. No, Spider-Man used the time suit, the Red Angel time suit. Anti-Trigger says Thomas Potts, I was really disappointed that Spider-Man did not say, hey, do you remember that really old movie Clash of Titans? You know what I'm talking about. Did you ever see Aliens? Thomas Potts, ? Never saw that. Josh Street says, how is there still enough Unsullied to make an army after the battle? There's not. The Unsullied are gone. The Dothraki are gone. The only people left are the North. So the people in the North are going to have to fight the Golden Company. And perhaps they can find some more people at the Iron Islands. Although they're already sailing around with what's-his-face. The other Greyjoy. Vile Mike says, howdy folks. Howdy, Vile Mike. Gunman says the bird doesn't. Bird doesn't? Sci-Fi guy is saying hi to Vile. Gunman says bird doesn't like the Unsullied army because what's this? What is this going to be? Because they're brown. They're barely brown, and that has nothing to do with anything. Vile Mike says because the Unsullied are unable to be so called, their balls fall off. I'll be right back. What should we give you? What should we give you? I think we'll just go with something basic. I figured you guys wanted to see the fish. And I felt bad. Felt bad giving you California Girls again or something like that. Josh Street says the multi-gunman. Nope, not going to read it. Vio Like says, how's it going, Sci-Fi Guy? Sci-Fi Guy says, not bad. How about you? Multi-gunman says, bird only needs one bank. It's called Fort Knox. Fort Knox is empty. That's what they don't want you to know. John Araki, welcome, John Araki. You are here, so I guess we do have a song to sing tonight. John Araki has a song in the queue. Rambling Canuck says, hello, bird. Hello, Rambling Canuck. Anti-Tracker says, Thomas, check Discord. John Araki says, Qapla, John Araki. Thomas Potts says, did see the movie yet, only read a summary. Anti-Tracker says, oh crap, sorry, forgot. Anti-Tracker can't help but spoil Endgame for more people. Thomas says, don't worry about it. Vile Mike says, trying to upload episode 4 at the moment. Vile Mike says, murder is okay only if you murder bad people. Trouble is, who is called bad people? Well, other murderers for one. I'm perfectly willing to decide who's bad and who isn't. Like Santa Claus, like Santa Bot from Futurama. I decide who's naughty. Anti-Tracker says, no, you would be there, Bird, no one else. Anti-Tracker says, Dexter seasons 1 to 4 were awesome, then it sucked. Sci-Fi guy says, good to hear, Vile. Josh Reed says, Anti-Tracker, only Bird and the group from Europe will be there at 7 a.m. 8 a.m. for Bird stream. He had like 40 people there when he went live at 7 a.m. last time. Thomas Potts says, Anti-Tracker, did you watch those clips I sent you? Anti-Tracker says, by the way, Bird, if you want your Starfield to look a bit more Trek, on the right-hand side, you can turn off Galaxy. Why would I want to turn off Galaxy? Galaxy's the best thing in the picture. Well, let's see. Let's see. What the hell is that? Nebula? Nebula's disabled. Planets. What are you? Comet Tails. Atmospheres, clouds, ocean, water. Aurora Borealis. Orbits. Markers. Labels. Selection pointer. Velocity vector. Grid. Settings. I don't see I don't see Galaxy on the right side. There's nebula, planets, comet tails, atmospheres, clouds, water, auroras, orbits, and some things I already have shut off. I suppose it could be in settings. Galaxies. I don't know. That's kind of boring. But I think it might look a little better. Okay, we'll try it with Galaxies off for a little bit. Thank you again, Anti-Tracker. Anti-Tracker says Dr. Lee. Dr. Lee. Thomas Potts says just don't get him angry. Vile Mike says giant dam, like when Raphael lost to Casey Jones in the first. Damn. Every time he was missing his little dagger thing. In the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. I still remember going to see that movie in the movie theater. That was a great movie. No, a giant dam, a D-A-M, dam. Josh Reed says, I miss Spike Viper killing the crater map. Well, it was live. I'm sure you can still watch it. And I'm sure he will upload it as a video. John Iraqi says, how did Arya get to the Night King surrounded by 100 walkers and his lieutenants? She jumps out of nowhere. Because of plot armor and convenience. Something that was never a part of Game of Thrones until this season. Okay, the whole thing about Game of Thrones was that characters should not have plot armor. Okay, if characters had plot armor, Ned Stark would still be alive. That is what makes Game of Thrones special. It's what makes Game of Thrones different. Was the fact that anybody could die. So many characters should have died this episode. Tyrion, Sansa, Jaime Lannister. Brie of Tarth. Whatever her name is. The big blonde woman. Beret of Tarth. They all should be dead. The Hound. Possibly Arya herself. So many people should be dead. They should all be dead. Josh Street says the rest of them use dragonglass weapons. The fire would burn. The rest use dragonglass weapons. The fire would burn the weapons. No. Well, no, because Jorah had a metal sword. Okay, I saw lots of people who still had swords. I guess they were Valyrian steel, but John Araki says Mary sued him to death. Vile Mike says Bird hates eunuchs. Josh Reed says Sianga Bowl 2019. Thomas Potts says thanks a lot for spoiling Endgame, Bird of Prey. You're welcome, Thomas. Be sure to send me the money you would have given to Marvel or Disney. Wrong target, Sassy. Sassy, you were going after the wrong target. John Araki says it's going to take some Infinity Stones to get to the end of Anti-Borg series. Anti-Turkey says, did he just say, Sassy, stop attacking Grandma? Yes, that's what I said. Anti-Tracker says, at John Araki, jerk. John Araki says, holy crap, Anti read my comment without a super chat. Sign of the apocalypse. And Josh says, Bird of Prey, you didn't watch the preview for the next episode where there is an army of Unsullied. I guess I did not. Okay, well then, yeah, the Unsullied were pretty much all dead, I thought. John Araki says, what part of Africa are the brown people from in Game of Thrones? If anything, I'd say they were more Arab. And there is no, there's no geography similarities between, there's no Africa in Game of Thrones. It's Westeros, it's Eastros, and some other lands. John Araki says, which part of Africa are they from? Vile Mike says, so barely brown is okay in Bird's book. And Josh Street says, wouldn't Masters of Slavers Bay run out of people on the islands near Saros, where they got almost all their slaves by the time of Game of Thrones? Well, I guess they have a lot of kids. Vile Mike says it's not if they have an active breeding system. Thomas says he can't stream at 7 a.m. unless it's part of a 24-hour stream. It's the very top option. The very top option is Nebular. And I clicked it. I had to go into the settings. DJ Odyssey says, hail all DJ Odyssey. Thomas Potts says, hey to DJ. Okay, I'm not saying the hellos. DJ Odyssey says, you're upsetting Sassy Bird. DJ says, not much is up, finally done for the day. And DJ says, man, I spoiled Endgame the night it came out. And Vile Mike says, who cares? Endgame was like 2 decades ago. It was a shitty Voyager finale anyway. Who cares if you spoil it? I'm with you, Vile Mike. If you haven't seen Endgame by now, you're never gonna see it. I felt the same way 3 days ago. Okay, John Araki, you are here, and I owe you a song. So, brace up, people. We have a song a-coming. Again, this is a song out of my comfort zone. I don't know how else to explain it. So, The song is Runaway Train by Soul Artist. No. Runaway Train by Soul Asylum. Brought to you by John Araki. And a 1 and a 2. It's the intro. Call you up in the middle of the night, like a firefly without a light, just a beetle. You were there like a slow torch burning. I was a key that could use a little turning. So I tried that I couldn't even sleep. So many secrets I couldn't keep. I promised myself I wouldn't weep. One more promise I couldn't keep. It seems no one can help me now. I'm in too deep, there's no way out. It's time I have really led myself astray. This time I've really led myself astray. Runaway train, never going back. Wrong way on a one-way track, like in City Skylines. Seems like I should be getting somewhere. Somehow I'm neither here nor there. Can you help me remember how to smile? Make it somehow all seem worthwhile. How on earth did I get so jaded? Life's mystery seems so faded. I can go where no one else can go. I know what no one else knows. Here I am just drowning in the rain, with a ticket for a runaway train. Here's everything seems so cut and dry. Day and night, earth and sky. Somehow I just don't believe it. Runaway train, never going back. Wrong way on a one-way track. Seems like I should be getting somewhere. Somehow I'm neither here nor there. Bought a ticket for a runaway train, like a madman laughing in the rain. Little out of touch, a little insane. Just getting easier than dealing with the pain. Runaway train, never going back. Wrong way on a one-way track. Seems like I should be getting somewhere. Somehow I'm neither here nor there. Runaway train, never coming back. Runaway train, tearing up the track. Runaway train, burning my veins. I run away, but it always seems the same. Instrumental to the end. Oh, I wasn't supposed to sing that. Yeah. You get the dancing for free, John. The dancing's for free. Yeah. Don't say I didn't give it my best. Don't you say I didn't give it my best. Oh, we're up to 14. Endgame couldn't even keep its own timeline straight. Lol. And DJ says, oh shit, Bird is gonna rap. Didn't sound like a rap to me. I hope it wasn't a rap song. Thomas Potts says, brace yourself, vertebrae, song coming. DJ says, my soul artist. No. Yes, I must have the dyslexia too. Vile Mike says, Endgame has big paradoxes with who lives and who dies. Josh Reed says, Bird of Prey 5, most African people in Game of Thrones would come from the Summer Isles south of Westeros. Okay. Multi-Gunman says, Bird for President of the World 2020. Yes. I should start my campaign. Then I could take donations. John Araki says, not sure why this is out of your comfort zone, Bird. You made it through the wrecking ball. That's true. And DJ Odyssey says, now he's adding lyrics. Sometimes I just have to. John Araki gives a thumbs up. DJ says he thinks he's Weird Al. John loves the ad-libs. You see, John Araki loves the ad-libs. Vile Mike says, I hope Anti-Tracker is recording this. DJ says, call 911. He's having a seizure. Josh Street says, Geneva Convention. Bird singing should be banned, just like Lore singing. And DJ says, never mind, it's his dance moves. Yeah, I got some good dance moves. I was known as quite the dancer back when I could stand. You know? You did not want me out on the dance floor. I was the center of attention, okay? People were like, wow, that guy can dance. DJ Odyssey, never mind. John Araki says, thanks, Bird. Could use some more air guitar, though. Oh, I'm sorry, John. John Araki says, it can be both, DJ. That's true. True, says DJ. DJ says, I think I might have to do poetry sometime. Can't sing. Bird took that for himself. DJ, you can try singing. I'll read poetry if you want me to read poetry. Joshua says, did Bird do the bed bot at the end? I don't know what the hell the bed bot is, but sure. Vile Mike says, Bird, your singing was so bad. Your singing was so bad. My upload went from 97% to 7%. I don't even know what to say. Oh. John Araki says the dancing did not trigger a red alert. No, the red alerts are kind of random. DJ Odyssey says, yeah, but I saw Garfield trying to get off the view screen during the singing. Garfield was probably trying to join in. Oh. So, in other news, the Deep Space Nine documentary, What We Left Behind, bit of controversy. They've extended everyone's viewing. It was supposed to be for 99 hours. They've added another 29 hours. So a total of 128 hours. Because the first day, a lot of people couldn't connect. Because they used this stupid, awful, rights-restricted program for showing it. And even though they promised, they told us all that we'd be able to stream it to our televisions. We'd be able to cast it using Chromecast and Apple TV. And the whole point of getting this thing, because people wanted to view this on their big screen televisions. Nobody wanted to watch this on their desktops and their laptops. And what happens? They get it. They paid for the access. We've been waiting years and years and years for. I mean, there's stuff in there back from 2015, and people have been waiting to get this movie. And we finally get it, and the company they choose to put it out gives a big FU and says, no, you can't even cast it to a television because for some reason that might make it easier to copy. But you know what? It was super easy to copy. It could not have been more easy to copy. I've had harder times copying things from almost any other source. This worked the first damn time. Okay? The only problem was it was such a damn big file, I had to do some things to break it up into smaller files. But that was it. Okay? Nothing fancy. So a complete and total waste of money, and two, screwing over lots of people who don't have the technical know-how to copy the data so they can watch it on their own big screen televisions. So we got a bunch of apologies, and we got, oh, I'm so sorry, but we were contractually obligated because we sold the movie to this company that was going to release it in theaters, that they weren't going to release it in theaters unless we only released it on a high security streaming system. So basically they sold out. They sold out all the early backers for the chance of making a little bit more money. And it's going to be the early backers who are going to go see this thing in the movie theater anyway, for the most part. So really, really stupid plan, guys. I gotta say. It's really poisoning the whole project. Very annoying to see people who paid years ago still can't see it on their televisions like they were promised they'd be able to see it. They're going to have to wait God knows how many more months. Could be another year before the hard copies come out. We don't know. They might never come. Josh Street says, Bird, the bed bot is the robot but in bed. Okay. I gotcha. That makes sense. John Araki says, instrumental to the end. White, I wasn't supposed to sing that. DJ says they were using Bird's AOL account to try and stream it. DJ Odyssey says, we saw that finger, Bird. John Araki says, I think Bird needs a Wayne's World trucker cap to randomly throw in some swigs every now and then. Swings? Swings. Josh Reed says, but my big screen is my desktop monitor. I gotcha. And I have an HDMI cable, so that wasn't a problem either, but I don't always want to have to drag out the HDMI cable every time I want to watch something. Not Ryan Johnson says, I've had harder times. Well, everybody's had harder times. Quoting me. Josh Reed says, Bird has a hard time copying Joshua's animations. John Araki says, I think the purpose of DRM schema is to embed a tracking number into the video with a phone number you input so they know who leaks it. Well, I don't care. Okay? Somebody from some country that doesn't give a shit about copyright could leak it tomorrow, and nobody would do anything about it. DJ Odyssey says, Domo Agitario, Mr. Devoto, Domo, 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 Agiato, Mr. Berdotto. And now I feel bad for having read that. John Araki says, Bird's HDMI cable doubles as a garrote wire. Is that a wire you use to strangle people? Garrote wire. I'm gonna have to kill someone by strangulation. Yes. Typically with an iron collar or length of wire or cord. You do not want to be killed by an HDMI cable. Probably not an ideal way to go. DJ says, robato, bird robato. You don't know the song. I've heard of Mr. Roboto. Isn't he the villain in Sonic the Hedgehog? Sci-Fi Guy says, gotta go, dinner time, might be back in time to catch the end of the stream. Takes care, Sci-Fi Guy. Enjoy your dinner. Enjoy your dinner. 7:25. Anti-tracker is going on. Sometime between 8 and 8:30, so 30 minutes to an hour from now. I got the song done. No, not the bad guy in Sonic. Okay, so the song, the Mr. Roboto song, I gotcha. Oh, changes, by the way. Slight changes to my streaming schedule. Not that I have a set schedule. For the next several weeks, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. to approximately 7 p.m., I will be getting physical therapy. I mean physical therapy, not physical therapy. So I definitely will not, definitely, but so often I would stream come around 6 p.m. some nights. So that's not going to be happening. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I will more likely try to stream closer to 3 or 4 p.m. and be done, a hard end by, say, 5 to 5:30, so I can get ready for physical therapy. Obviously, some days it could be earlier, and some days it could conceivably be later, after physical therapy is over, perhaps. But just a heads up. Just a heads up. DJ Odyssey says, Johnny Rocky says, why does Pornhub keep changing up Anti's work schedule? And DJ Odyssey says, lore porn is in high demand for some ungodly reason. Vile Mike says, DJ Odyssey, how do you feel that he butchered the Mr. Roboto song? And DJ says, I feel sad. What's the Mr. Roboto song? I never sang that. Vile Mike says, that's Dr. Robotic Eggman. Robotnik? Robotnik, yes. Yes, that's the one I was thinking of. Yes. Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic. When I first played the first Sonic the Hedgehog on Genesis, that was something. You remember how they used to advertise Genesis? Because Genesis was completely inferior to Super Nintendo. Basically every way. I mean, the number of colors, the resolution. Super Nintendo blew Genesis away. Like, I think Genesis was restricted to 64 colors. 64 colors on the screen at once. Where, like, Super Nintendo could do thousands. And, the only thing that what Sega had going for it was they came out with this line that Genesis had blast processing. And blast processing let Sonic the Hedgehog move faster than any video game character to that date. And he did. I mean, he was noticeably faster than Mario in Super Mario Brothers. Any of the games prior to it. And when Sonic 2 came out, and you could actually do Split screen. What is that, Sassy? Oh, somebody has a four-wheeler or motorcycle. No, somebody's got a motorcycle outside the neighbor's house. It's okay, Sassy. It's a motorcycle, not a horse. You don't have to be scared. It's not a living creature. Yeah, so Genesis was blast processing. In Sonic 2, it would condense the screen so much, trying to play a split screen. That was crazy. Vile Mike says the first Sonic the Hedgehog was on the Master System. Not in the United States. Maybe in Europe it was. Because I had the Sega Master System, okay? I was Sega true and true. I had the Master System, I had Genesis, I had the Sega CD, and I had Game Gear. Okay? I was a Sega guy. The only thing I didn't get was the 32X. Because it had like 6 games for it. But yeah, I was fully believed in Sega. And believe me, there was no Sonic the Hedgehog in the USA on the Sega Master System. The first time Sonic showed up in the USA was for Genesis. John Aragi says, Bird, did you see the Simpsons song bashing upstate New York last night? No, John, I did not, but I'm not surprised. I don't know why they'd be bashing upstate New York. New York is completely controlled by Democrats. They should love upstate New York, since they're clearly super liberal show now. But yes, that is the difference. That is the difference between the Simpsons of this year and the Simpsons of all previous years. If it was any year but this year, I would have watched The Simpsons at least once by now. But this year, I don't give a crap. I saw they came on. I watched Family Guy this morning instead, because I had a little extra time. I'll watch The Simpsons eventually. I'll get around to it. Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. I'll still watch it, but I don't care anymore. I don't care when I watch it. Maybe I won't watch it till next week. There's like 5 episodes left in the season. Maybe I'll just watch them all at once. Frickin' Simpsons became so politically correct, and they're a show that can't live under political correctness. Such a disappointment. The Simpsons disappointed me more than Game of Thrones. And certainly more than Discovery, because I didn't expect anything from Discovery. I expected more from The Simpsons. DJ says, yeah, but Genesis had Toe Jam and Earl. Excellent game. I had Toe Jam and Earl too. That was a great game. Go into those different levels in space. Toe Jam and Earl were really like the first flat earthers before there was flat earthers. Thomas Potts says, Genesis? Genesis aloud is not planet forbidden. Very good. Very good, Thomas. Vile Mike says basically meant that the Genesis Mega Drive had a faster processor but worse sound and video card than SNES. Josh Reed says, Bird, the first Genesis 16-bit, but the Genesis 32-bit was more powerful than the Super NES. While the 32X, once you added on that extra piece, yes. But they did not have too many 32X games. One significant Sega Genesis 32X game they did have was Starfleet Academy, which let you drive as a Klingon bird of prey and fire on ships. Now, you couldn't be cloaked, but you could cloak and then uncloak and fire. And yes, Starfleet Academy, one of my favorite games, one of my favorite console games of the time. Now, they also had Starfleet Academy on Super Nintendo, which was just fine. And Vile Mike is giving me a link to Sonic. This Sonic Wiki. Let's see. Sonic the Hedgehog 8-bit. Go to Sonic the Hedgehog 8-bit. Sonic the Hedgehog 8-bit. Sonic the Hedgehog is a platform game in the Sonic the Hedgehog series. And the 8-bit version of the original Sonic the Hedgehog on the Sega Mega Drive. You see, it was original. The original Sonic the Hedgehog on the Sega Mega Drive. For the Sega Master System and Game Gear. Oh, right, the Mega Drive. Released in between October and December 1991, the 8-bit game was developed by Ancient Corp in collaboration with a few Sonic team members, being released on Sega's previous 8-bit console for the first handheld title in the Sonic series. It is a separate game rather than being a straight port from the 16-bit counterpart. The game features several new gameplay elements which would become implemented in later 8-bit handheld titles. So, yes, it was first on the 16-bit system. It was then backported, or it was then made for the 8-bit system, because probably because they were going to use it for the Game Gear, which the Game Gear can play, by the way. I had the adapter for the Game Gear, so I could play Master System games right on the Game Gear. That was pretty cool. In the Game Gear, I had like every single add-on. Everything but that TV tuner. I had the big old magnifying screen in the front, the extra speakers on the side, and this thing on the back that you could put in a full-size Sega Master System cartridge into the Game Gear and play it on the Game Gear. It was crazy. It was crazy. That was technology, not this phone bullshit. Okay? Give me a Sega Game Gear. That's technology. Okay. I mean, it looks cool. Don't get me wrong. It looks pretty cool. I guess I should have opened it in the browser that you guys can see. Here, fishies. Here, fishies. Yeah. The 8-bit game was developed by Ancient Corp in collaboration with a few Sonic team members, being released on Sega's previous 8-bit console, the first handheld title in the Sonic series. It is a separate game rather than being a straight port from the 16-bit counterpart. So the 16-bit counterpart existed first. The game features several new gameplay elements. Sega's freelance composer, Yuzo Kamuro, whatever. Like the later Game Gear and Master System games, this game has been re-released on numerous compilation titles, or as unlockable mini-games, including re-releases in the Virtual Console for the Wii and the Nintendo 3DS. This game's storyline is almost the same as the original game for the Sega Genesis. So, yes, the Sega Genesis is the original game. And the Mega Drive is what it was released for first. Just to clear up any... Oh, no. Wrong button. Just to clear up any confusion. Those were the days, okay? Those were the days of good games. Vile Mike, you dropped the mic a little too soon. You should have read it. Should have read the story. John Araki says, Bird, are you on PS4 or Xbox One? I am on PS4, but I haven't used the PS4 in a long time. I mean, the last time I used PS4, you guys were watching me kill zombies. Someone with a Asian name that I cannot pronounce says hi. Hello. DJ Odyssey says hi back. Josh Street says it's funny. The only difference between the PS4 and Xbox One is the OS. Everything under the hood, they have the same hardware. I don't think that's 100% true. Vile Mike says, Josh Street, do you mean the 32X? Josh Street says 32X as an adapter for the 16-bit Genesis. Let it play 32-bit games. Yes. Then, of course, the Dreamcast came out, which was an actual 32-bit. No, wait. I keep forgetting which is the 32-bit and which is the 64-bit. Did the Saturn come out before the Dreamcast, or the Dreamcast come out before the Saturn? I didn't have either. The first CD-based system I had was the Sega CD. After that, I went to the 3DO. Specifically, the 3DO made by Gold Star, because Panasonic also made a 3DO. And then I went to the Turbo, what was it called? Not the TurboGrafx 16, but the CD version. I think the 32-bit version of the TurboGrafx. And then I went to the original PlayStation. And then I got a PlayStation 2. And then, I mean, by that time, I started working, so I was just buying every system that came out. I bought the Xbox. Actually, I never bought an original Xbox. I kind of missed the original Xbox. It just looked so big. Like, so big, it was so ridiculously, like, they couldn't figure out how to jam everything in there right. But I did get the PS3. I got an Xbox 360. Actually, I got 2 Xbox 360s, maybe 3, because they kept dying. Not right away, but years and years later. And then I got the PS4 after like 2 years it had been out. I finally got the PS4. And that's the last thing I got. And no plans to upgrade anytime soon. Vile Mike says the Master System version was not the same as the Genesis version. Vile Mike says yes, it was, because the Game Gear is basically a handheld version of the Master System. Indeed. Vile Mike says I have both the Master System converter for the Game Gear and the TV tuner for the sale on my store before. Not at the moment, though. DJ Odyssey says, oh, give me a home where the Game Gear roam, and the Sonic and the Toe Jams play. Well, that would have been better where Sonic the Hedgehog play, or Sonic and Tails play. Or Knuckles. You remember Knuckles? Knuckles was kind of the street hedgehog. DJ Odyssey says, I still have an Atari 2600 from when I was a kid, and it still works. Very cool. Asian name, can't pronounce, getting triggered. I don't know what else to say, John Araki. I'm sorry. If somebody comes in here with a acrylic name, I can't pronounce that either. I don't know what you want me to do. I can't even begin to pronounce. Mr. Guy with Asian name or Miss Woman with an Asian name, if you are still here, I am very sorry. I cannot pronounce your name. I am a typical American who only speaks English. If you can give me a pronunciation of your name, I would be happy to call you by your name. I just need to know how to pronounce it. Vile Mike says the Dreamcast is the 64-bit, and the Saturn came out before the Dreamcast. Vile Mike says I have 32 systems connected to my TV to test games. Holy crap, Vile Mike. Now those are 32 distinct systems, or 32 systems in one, like running emulators. Rambling Canuck says, who remembers tap, tap, blow, blow, tap, insert, cartridge push down, and hit power to play? For what? Nintendo games? I never followed that ritual. I mean, when my sister had 8-bit Nintendo, and when her games went in play, that's what we'd blow on it. We'd buy those pink game cleaner things that was supposed to clean the contacts. You put frickin' alcohol on it and you wiped it down with this purple piece of plastic with a little cloth on the end to try and clean the contacts. Vile Mike says Atari 2600, 5200, 7800, Jaguar, PS1, PS2, PS3, Xbox 360, One, NES, SNES, N64, GameCube, Wii, Coleco, Telstar, Colortron, Master System, Genesis, 32X, Sega CD, Saturn, Dreamcast. Wow. And no TurboGrafx and no 3DO. Well, call me back when you get a 3DO. DJ Odyssey says, the Rambling Canuck, I still do when I play the Atari, lol. You test the games before you sell them on your eBay store. Plug, right, Vile Mike? That all makes sense now. DJ says, Rambling Canuck, I still do when I get to play Atari, lol. Multi-Gunman says, Vile Mike, are you a retro gamer? I'm into retro gaming as well. DJ says, and lick it when it was for Nintendo. Oh my god, no. Rambling Canuck says, Nintendo, the gray box of many rage-inducing days of childhood. Vile Mike says, 3DO, TurboGrafx, WonderSpawn, Famicom, Super Famicom, PAL, PS1, NTSC, JPS1, Intellivision 2, Pioneer Laser Active. Sorry, ran out of characters. Damn! So you do have the 3DO and TurboGrafx. Very, very cool. What was that one? Oh, what was the Neo Geo? Do you have the Neo Geo? That one, the games were like super expensive. What's that? We need to speed up. We're increasing speed. Okay. We're going to warp 9. There we go. There we go. We've got an appointment on the other side of the universe. No, those are stars still. Those aren't galaxies. DJ still has a Pioneer Laserdisc for movies. The only problem with the Laserdisc was that you can only fit an hour of video. You had to frickin' change the discs to finish a movie. Vile Mike says, I'm not as much as a gamer as I once was, mostly just sell now. Multi-Gunman says, I'd like to get a Turbo Graphics. And Multi-Gunman says, I mostly have a Sega Genesis. I was honestly considering playing some retro games on the stream, but I don't know if I can play a game and keep up with the chat at the same time. We seem to be leaving the galaxy. The stars are getting less and less. Oh, now they're... Yeah. Vile Mike says, I have Pocket Neo Geo Color in my collection, but no Neo Geo games for sale at the moment. You just flew past the crystalline entity. I saw it. I think it was some type of nebula. And we've left the galaxy, basically. There's the last star. And there's the last star. There's the last star. These are all the very last stars at the edge of the galaxy. We're now in deep space. Deep, deep space. Elvis has left the building. Indeed. Indeed. And I think with that, guys, we're going to call it a stream. We'll call it a night. But hey, Anti-Tricker's going on relatively early. I should at least be there for the beginning of the stream. So I will see you guys later. Multi-Gunman says Elvis is working at the 7-Eleven. I saw him yesterday. TJ yells, Jaloja! Good for you, DJ. Good for you. Josh Reed says Bird has entered the universe. Butthole. The Burnham Zone. And Vile Mike says no Turbo Graphics at the moment either. Harder to come by, as people seem to think even the shitty games are worth hundreds of dollars. Rambling Canuck says Nightbird. Good night, Rambling Canuck. Qapla all. And I will see you guys later. And tomorrow. So, Qapla.